Welcome to Hustle Meets Harmony, where we juggle business, family, and everything in between. I'm Raina.
And I'm Taryn, two working moms chasing dreams, helping families, and keeping life in balance.
Join us for real stories, honest insights, and plenty of laughs as we figure it all out together.
This is Hustle Meets Harmony.
So today I have the pleasure of interviewing my fabulous co-host and good friend, Taryn. You are officially in the hot seat today. So welcome.
Yay, thank you. Excited for this. And nervous,
Yes.
of course.
Oh, you're fantastic. Don't worry about it. Taryn McLean is an Allstate insurance agency owner, entrepreneur, and co-host of Hustle Meets Harmony. She built a business rooted in trust, consistency, and follow-through. Her guiding theme is do what you said you would do. So, Taryn, as you know, we like to start off every episode with an icebreaker. So, lightning round, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Nice. Early bird or night owl?
Oh, I'm an early bird. Did you know?
Total opposite of me.
Yes.
Mountains or beach?
Mountains all the way. Love the mountains, don't love the beach.
Book or podcast?
Book. I like to hold something, and that's just more I know you mentioned that you were a bookworm when you were younger, and I was a bookworm as well. Always head in a book. So,
nice.
Yep.
And favorite way to unwind after a long, busy week?
Yes. So Friday nights are burger night in my house. So burgers and fries that we make at home, and everybody's just relaxing, and whether it's in front of the TV or playing music, but yeah, just staying in and enjoying some chill time.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Okay.
So what pulled you into the insurance business?
Well, I was a pharmaceutical sales rep out in Colorado, Wyoming area. Was not really loving that career choice. It was a lot of driving, and I didn't feel like I was putting my education to use. I felt like I was taking coffee and lunch orders and delivering them to doctors' offices that didn't really want to even see me. So my dad had recently retired, and my brother was running the agency and called me and asked me if I would like to come and help him run the business. And I saw it as an opportunity to move closer to my family and completely do a 180 on my career change. So that was almost 20 years ago.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. And that's
Yeah.
why, you and I have similar backgrounds. Same thing. We both
Yeah.
went into the family insurance business, which is exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never thought that that would ever happen, trust me. But
No.
as you said, the same thing.
Same thing. So
Yeah.
what surprised you once you were running a business?
So I worked in the agency for 15 years before I actually purchased the agency. So I will say the end of 2020. So I opened January 1st of 2021, and I think what surprised me most is just how freeing it felt to be running the agency on my own. I didn't have to bounce ideas off of anybody. If I wanted to, for example, we started wearing jeans on Fridays, and that was something we never did. And I just made the decision, and I didn't have to ask anybody. I just did it. So it was a little scary at first knowing that everything was me, but also very freeing. I just absolutely love it. So
I love it. Boss lady.
yeah, I know, right?
Yay. Yeah.
Yay.
So, you say this to me all the time, so I want to hear your opinion on this, but what does do what you said you would do look like in practice?
Yeah, so do what you said you would do is something that I was introduced to by my brother-in-law Kyle. He's big into that. He actually has the letters tattooed on his wrist. But in my opinion, it means when you're going to do something, you say you're going to do it, you commit, and you show up and you do it, whether it's hard, whether it's uncomfortable, but do what you said you would do. And I've never regretted doing something that I said I was going to do, even if it was hard or uncomfortable. So,
Nice.
um,
So
yeah.
why do you think this matters so much in today's world?
I think in today's world, I think it's easy to fall into the woe is me trap or the I'm too busy or looking for an easier way to do things. And I, so our farm is called Prairie Meadow Farm, and one of the
Mhm.
reasons the prairie part of it actually came from the fact that I've always wished that I lived in like the Little House on the Prairie times because I feel
Oh,
like
that's
things
so
were
cute.
just simpler.
Uh-huh.
They were really hard, and I know that
Mhm.
they were hard, but you couldn't just say, I don't feel like going out and hunting, or I don't feel like churning the butter because it's cold or I'm sick. Like you had to do what you said you would do. And
Mhm.
I feel like that's one of the things that I wish we could go back to a simpler time when it's harder, but um, people just show up and do what they said they need to do. So,
I love it. Just
yeah.
survival.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Nice. So we talk a lot about wellness as well. So what does taking care of yourself look like for you? Especially, you're busy with being a mom and your farm and your business. So how do you manage all that and how do you take care of yourself?
Yeah, so that goes back to the early bird part of our conversation.
Yes.
So I'm a 5 a.m. wake up person, and the first
Hmm.
2 hours of my day are spent on me. So I get up, I spend 20 minutes in prayer and reading the Bible, and then I go and do a workout, and then I am ready to get myself to the office by like 8 o'clock. So
Hmm.
I think those 2 hours of me time are just a non-negotiable. I can't, I have to have that time. And the only
Hmm.
way that I could add that time in was in the morning.
Okay.
When I'm reading the Bible, it has to be absolutely quiet. I can't even have movement, even if there's no people talking. Like it has to be quiet. So that was the time for me. So setting the alarm and getting up in the morning is something that is I have to do.
Hmm.
And on the backside of that, the reason I'm not a night owl is I feel like I need at least 7 hours of sleep a night. So I do go to bed on the earlier side.
Hmm.
That's also a non-negotiable because if I get less
Okay.
than 7 hours of sleep, I'm not very fun to be around. So
I think
that's
you're fun all the time, Taryn.
oh well, there you go. There you
So I
go.
guess that
Yeah.
kind of goes to my next question. So what boundaries have you learned to protect over the years?
I've had to say no to a lot of things. I've had to
Hmm.
say no, unfortunately, to being more involved in church than I am right now because I just don't have the time. I don't get as involved in the kids' school as I used to.
Hmm.
I do run an American Heritage Girls troop, which takes a lot out of me. We have 56 girls in the troop right now. So I have to balance. If you're going to say yes to something, you have to say no to something else. So I try to
Hmm.
be really careful about what I commit to, knowing that my time is finite. I also am very protective of my Sundays. In our family, we try to keep Sunday for the Sabbath, so we go to church and we don't schedule any activities. We try to really take that time to be home and slow down a little bit. So
Hmm.
those are non-negotiables. If there was a sporting event on a Sunday for the kids, we would just say no because that's a boundary that we've set as a family. So
Wow. And that's really tough now, especially as the kids are getting older and there's so many things that happen on the weekends, whether it's sporting events or birthday parties, community events. So I'm proud of you.
yeah,
That's
it's
really good.
hard.
It's hard to say
Yeah,
no. It
it
really is
is.
hard to say no.
It is, yeah, but for us, we made that decision early on, and it's been
Hmm.
something that we've kept. Something I'm trying to do is a phone Sabbath every Sunday. I've only done it once where the phone goes in a drawer turned off for 24 hours, which
Wow.
unfortunately is harder than I thought it was going to be. So,
Yes.
but I would like to do it again and try to make it
Hmm.
a regular thing for me. But yeah,
I like it.
that's hard in today's
Yeah.
world, right? To be completely
Yes.
disconnected. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. You have to disconnect to reconnect sometimes.
correct.
Reconnect
Yep.
with yourself, reconnect with your family.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
So you are big into running. Let's talk about that. You are a 5:30 a.m. marathon runner. So we'll talk about training, some lessons learned from there. I want to hear all about the running world.
Yeah, yeah. So running is something that I started when we lived in Colorado. I started running on trails. I've done many 5Ks, but I've kind of fell into like the half marathon being my distance. So
Mhm.
half marathon is 13.1 miles. Um, I was on a quest to break 2 hours for years, and I
Mhm.
finally achieved that goal back in like, I don't know, maybe 2015. And then I took some time off of officially racing. I just kind of ran for fun. I'm back to racing, but not trying to make any time goals. I'm kind
Mhm.
of trying to figure out what else I can learn about myself through the training and the racing beyond just the finish time. So,
Okay.
yeah. So that was something that I did these last couple months, just really focus on what lessons can I learn and what experiences can I get out of the half marathon distance beyond just meeting some arbitrary time goal that I set for myself.
Okay. So what sort of lessons have you learned from this?
Well, I have learned a lot of lessons that I feel like kind of can go back into life. Like
Mhm.
when it gets hard, sometimes it's not about I guess when it gets hard and seeing, like, for example, the last marathon or half marathon I ran had a lot of hills towards the end. And I was feeling a little bit defeated when I started hitting the hills because it made it a lot harder to keep the pace that I was trying to keep. And I
Mhm.
thought, well, maybe sometimes it isn't about keeping a certain pace, it's about the hill and what is that teaching me about myself. So pushing through when things are getting hard, that's something that I've learned. Um, I went into one of my last races saying that I was going to smile through the whole thing. And that really changed my perspective. I was literally like cheering people on as I would go by them. I was thanking the volunteers and the race spectators. And that was a whole new level of experience for the race than
Mhm.
I experienced prior when it was all about I had to get a certain time and it was all about finishing,
Right.
at a certain pace. So,
So you're
um,
enjoying the journey versus just reaching a certain destination or a time goal.
yes, yes, I'm
Okay.
finding that all the training and the journey for all of it is so much more important than just at the end of the day what that time is. So, yeah.
And do you feel like the lessons you've learned from there have impacted how you approach your business? Are you making any changes to your business based on these life lessons you learned from running?
Right. Those are good questions and things I haven't really thought about yet.
Mhm.
But that's I feel like there's probably a lot of lessons and changes that I can make here. I will say one thing that I did have is when I was at the half marathon I ran in October, my daughter surprised me at mile 13 and
Mhm.
she ran out into the road and grabbed my hand and we crossed the finish line together. And that was very powerful for me to just
Mhm.
kind of show her me at my weakest point because I
Mhm.
was just spent. And
Mhm.
I feel like it's hard for kids because they feel like they mess up all the time and they see their
Mhm.
parents as these people that are constantly telling them what to do and they don't really see the realness of
Mhm.
their parents and how sometimes we get into those really dark places and have those difficult moments. So I feel like letting her into that and letting her experience that, I hope was something that is making an impact in her. So, yeah.
And I would also venture to say, I think that's your strongest point that your daughter got to see. She saw my mom could do this.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
amazing is that? My mom
Yeah.
completed a half marathon, 13 miles of running over hills, and the weather is a little bit cooler at the time of year, so that's really,
Yeah.
really impressive. I'm proud of
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun. I keep hoping she'll become a runner. Not yet.
Mhm.
She hasn't yet, but
Okay.
maybe some point. My son
Yeah.
started running. He did his first 5K on Thanksgiving and he seems to really enjoy it. So, who knows?
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about your farm. You briefly mentioned Prairie Meadow Farm. So what do you do there? How did you get into farming? Why did you even think you wanted to have a farm?
Yeah, so we live on an old Christmas tree farm that I grew up on. So when
Mhm.
I was a kid, we sold Christmas trees in December. People would come and chop down their Christmas tree and get their hot cocoa and buy some crafts, and
Mhm.
that was just how I was raised. And I told myself I
Okay.
never ever wanted to live on a farm. I didn't want my kids to feel like we were constantly having to work outside. So it's interesting that it's come full circle and I do now live on a farm and we have a massive garden. So
Mhm.
we grow flowers, we grow a ton of vegetables and berries. We have chickens that we raise both for eggs
Mhm.
and for meat.
Okay.
And then that actually translated into okay, we do all these things on our property. Why not try running a summer camp for kids? So this was our fourth summer running the summer camp
Mhm.
for kids. And It's allowed my husband to be able to stay home with the kids and still bring an income in between selling the meat and the eggs and the produce, as well as running the summer camp.
That's exciting. How many kids do you have in the camp?
We take up to have 10 between counselors and training, junior
Mhm.
counselors. So we usually have between 70 and 75 people on property at a time. So
Oh my
it's
gosh,
it's a
that's
lot.
exciting. How do
Yeah.
you manage all of that? That's a
Oh, well,
lot.
I don't manage any of it. No,
Oh,
I
okay, there
I
you go.
do the behind the scenes stuff. So
Uh-huh.
of course I buy the insurance for the camp, and
Mhm.
I'll do some of the back end, like the registration and payments. And then, we have all the merch, right? You got to have
Mhm.
your hoodies and your stickers and your t-shirts. So
Yes, yes.
I do a lot of that. But the camp is really Nathan, my husband, and then my
Mhm.
sister. So
Okay.
yeah.
And the kids are involved too, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So Graham's been a paid counselor for a couple years. Reagan
Mhm.
has been a counselor in training. But this year we're actually moving into where the kids will be more a part of the behind the scenes work. So we're
Mhm.
trying to get Reagan to do more of the social media and the marketing, because that
Okay.
seems to be her strength. And then
Okay.
Graham will be more managing the counselors as far as lesson plans and because he has a lot of knowledge on all the different things that we teach there. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Mm.
So you have the farm, you have your insurance business, you have running, we have the podcast and social
Uh-huh.
media. That is a lot of things going on. So
Yeah.
please tell me, how do you manage it all?
Um, well, I am constantly with the lists. I know we talked about that.
Mhm.
I like to try to do a brain dump every once in a while. I try to do them weekly. Um, that's something that I've been doing to try to keep everything in check.
Mhm.
Something I try to do before I leave the office every night is to literally make a list of everything I need to do the following day.
Mhm.
Because if I don't do that, then my headspace is clouded with that when I'm home and I'm trying to spend that time with the family.
Mhm.
And then when I come in the next day, my list is there and I can hit the ground running. I don't have to spend the first 15 minutes trying to figure out what I want to work on. But it's hard. It is literally so hard to manage all of it. It's but I love all of it. I'm not going to take any of it away, so we just have to figure it out, right?
Yep. Yep. Which brings me
Yeah.
to my next question. You said
Uh-huh.
that this is going to be your yes year. So what inspired you to say that?
Yes. So 2025 was my yes year. And it's
Mhm.
funny, I didn't really start that way. I think it
Okay.
just kind of happened where opportunities were put in front of me. And I just made the decision to start getting uncomfortable. And I'm not a networker. More of an introvert by nature.
Mhm.
So when we would do business travel and you'd be like, "Oh, let's find 5 people in this room we've never talked to and let's talk to them." I'm like, "I want to run far away from that. I don't want
Mhm.
that." But no, Taryn, we're going to do this. This is important. So I think that I think signing up for these training platforms and having all this opportunity put in front of me and saying like,
Mhm.
I need to start doing more. I need to think outside of the four walls of my office and see
Mhm.
what else is out there. So I think as it started to progress, it was like, okay, all right, are we going to do a podcast? Yes. Am I going to run 2 half marathons in 2 months? Yes. Am I going to join the church musical and sing at Christmas? Sure. Yes. Yes.
Why
So
not?
why not? Why not?
Add it to
Right.
the mix.
So yeah. I feel like I need another word for 2026 that's not yes. Maybe it's,
Mhm.
I don't know. I have to kind of figure that out. But
That's a
yeah,
good one. Let me know when you figure it out.
I
I'll
will.
join you
I
on
will.
it.
I will. Yeah.
So let's talk about Chris Stapleton and his song that inspired you. Tell me
Oh,
about it.
yes. Yes. So it's so funny. When I was in the throes of buying the insurance agency, I
Mhm.
had to get funding. I had to study and train and take all these tests for securities licensing, negotiate a lease. And Chris Stapleton's song Starting Over was very popular at that time. And there's a line in there that said, "The hard roads are the ones worth choosing."
Mhm.
And that just really stuck with me. Like, I could have just stayed stagnant. I could have stayed the way I was, but I instead decided to choose the hard road. And at the end of the day, when I look back, I'm so glad I did it. And it was definitely the road worth choosing.
Mhm.
But I think it just goes back to like get comfortable with getting uncomfortable and do what you said you would do.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So we always ask this question to our guests, and now it's going to be
Mhm.
asked to you. What does hustle meets harmony mean to you personally?
So I think when we were starting to think about the podcast, we talked about hustling, which obviously, I mean, working moms, boss ladies, we're hustling on a daily basis,
Hmm.
but trying to keep everything in balance. That was the initial thought that we had. And then I think to me, balance implies that everything is getting like equal amount of your energy and your time. And
Right.
at the end of the day, I don't think that's realistic. Like, I think there's going to be moments where my business is getting more of me than my family is, but then there's
Hmm.
also times when it goes like this. So, trying to find that like harmony between the two and making sure that I am giving to all the different points, but recognizing the fact that there's times I'm going to show up as probably like a B minus C employee, but man, I'm killing it at home with the family. So,
Uh-huh.
um, I don't know. That's what it means to me. So,
I love that. I love that.
yeah.
Um, has that definition changed over time? Have you always felt that way, or has it changed throughout the course of your life?
I think it's changing as my kids are older and I'm starting to realize that my time with them home
Hmm.
under our roof is shrinking as
Yeah.
you're almost there, right? With a senior in
Hmm.
high school. So I feel like I'm realizing that I need to keep things more in harmony. I can't just grind it out at work and not spend that time with the kids. Like I want
Yeah.
them to see that I'm going to work hard and mom loves what she does. She has a passion for what she does, but I also want them to know at the end of the day that my family is the most important thing to me. So, I've been better about trying to keep things more in harmony lately, and just trying to soak up the moments that I have with them. As small as they might be, if they want to talk to me, I want to make myself available to them. So,
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
So are your kids interested in this business at all? You're a second generation insurance agent. Your brother worked in the agency. So what's the family dynamics there? Are your kids interested?
So Reagan, I would say absolutely not. Reagan thinks she's going to be an influencer because she loves to listen to herself talk and she'll tell you
Yeah.
she loves to listen to herself talk. So she actually wants to be on the podcast. She thinks this would be super
I
cool.
would
She's a
love to have
guest.
her on the podcast.
Um Graham, no, Graham wants to do
Mhm.
something with music. I have no
Okay.
idea what that looks like for him, but that's all he wants to do all day, every day. So it kind of makes me a little bit sad because the business belonged to my dad. He started
Mhm.
it in the 60s and then my brother owned it and I own it. So it would be really sad to not see it stay in the family, but you have to, respect your kids and where their strengths are and where their
Yeah,
interests are. So, but who
absolutely.
knows? Time
Yeah.
can change that when Graham realizes that he's not going to make money in Nashville as a paid musician, then
Uh-huh.
maybe he
You
has a
never
garage band
know.
on the side. I
Yeah,
know, you never know. He's got
you
his first
never
gig on
know.
Monday, so we'll see.
That's so exciting. Good for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Good for him. So let's talk about some tips and tricks and things that you want to share with our listeners. How do you
Okay.
manage everything?
So I will say people ask me all the time, like, how do you have all this energy that you wake up, you work out, you go to
Mhm.
work all day, you come home. I think fasting has been a huge game changer for me as far
Mhm.
as my energy levels.
Okay.
So I eat once a day. So I eat one big meal at dinner time, and
Mhm.
the rest of the time I'm in a fasted state. And when I started this journey 3 years ago, it was really hard. But once
Mhm.
my body acclimated it to it, and then my mind acclimated to the
Mhm.
point like 12 o'clock doesn't mean it's lunchtime. It just means that we're conditioned for that. I have felt my energy levels really, really go up throughout the day. And that's something that I would like to share with people. That's something I'm very passionate about because it's
Mhm.
changed not just my body composition, but my mental ability to show up for everything that I'm doing throughout the day. Um, so that's very important to me. Food is a huge deal to me. So
Mhm.
basically, if there's a way to make something out of ingredients we have at home, I'm all in. Whether it's we can make our own pizza crust, we can make our own hamburger rolls. We recently learned how to make tortillas.
Mhm.
Um, We make all of our own baked goods. If we're having dessert on the weekends, it's always something that I've made. So that's a big deal to me. So trying to keep everything as low process as humanly possible. We're not perfect, trust me, but we try. Um, I also love all fermented foods. I've gotten into sourdough. I brew my own kombucha. We make our own
Hmm.
kefir, which is like a fermented yogurt. So um, anything to boost your immune system, I'm super into. So I love talking about all those things.
I love it. I have to try your sourdough.
Yes,
I
yes.
was gonna first say teach me, but I think you should just make it and bring me
There you
some.
go.
It's probably easier. It's not gonna
There you
happen.
go. There
I
you
do
go.
not like cooking very much. I love
Oh,
eating. The cooking
yes.
part, I just cook
It's
because I have to cook.
it's super delicious. Yeah, and I need to
Yeah.
come over and get like a full Indian feast. Like you'll post pictures and
Yes.
videos of you making things and I'm like, "All right, I need this
Hmm.
in my life right now." So, you
Yes,
cook the
definitely.
Indian meal and then I will bring you sourdough to go
I
to
love
go
it.
with
That
it.
sounds fantastic to me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
Oh gosh. So what's one thing you hope listeners take away from this?
I think the biggest thing is to commit to doing something, whether it's hard or not, just make the
Hmm.
commitment. Don't look back. Um, Protect your time and your space and your energy. So if there's something that's out there that's not filling you up or bringing you joy and it's having the opposite effect on you, don't feel bad about saying no. Don't feel bad about that. And
Hmm.
try to keep your priorities straight. So if you're working really hard in your business right now or working towards a goal, that's awesome, but try to remember, you have people in your corner that are supporting you and you need to be filling up their buckets as well. So, but yeah, that and get comfortable with getting uncomfortable. Find something that has always scared you and commit to
Hmm.
saying yes to that thing and following through on that because you're never going to look back and say, man, I wish I didn't try that. Because even
Yeah.
if you fail, it just gives you the opportunity to pick up and that's where the growth happens. So,
Yep. Yeah. That's how
yeah,
you learn.
yeah,
I mean, we're
for
we're
sure.
trying this out. We never
We are.
thought that we would be, on social media, and
No.
you're killing it on LinkedIn and you're killing it on Instagram. I love watching your stories.
Oh, thank
And who would have
you.
thought we're doing this now? We're just like, okay,
I
let's just try it out. And if it
I
works
know.
out, great. If it doesn't,
Yep.
at least we had fun doing it.
Yep.
We get
Yep.
to hang
And
out with each other. We get to talk to great guests,
yeah.
learn
And
about
we're
other
growing. We're
people. Yep.
growing, challenging ourselves. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
We are.
it's been
We
really,
are.
really fun. The journey has been fun. I'm just excited to watch both of us and see where
Yes.
things take us. But I will say one thing that people have asked me is like, I don't
Hmm.
understand. Like, isn't she your direct competitor? Like, how are you partnering on things? And I'm like,
Hmm.
we don't see each other as competition. And I would tell anybody
No.
that there's enough business in New Jersey to go around. And I would
Right.
rather have somebody like you that we could lift each other up, support each other, help each other than
Hmm.
see each other as competition. What fun would that be, right? I
I
mean,
agree.
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
That's why we click because we're both of the same mindset. Let's help each other so we can both grow together. That's
right.
why we have a group of other agents that we're always talking to and asking questions and bouncing ideas off of each other. And everyone can be successful together. You don't have to step on somebody else to lift yourself up. That's not what we're about. So,
Right.
grab each other's hands and just move forward together.
100%. Yep, absolutely.
So, what can we expect from Taryn in 2026 or
Oh
beyond?
my
What do you
goodness.
see for yourself, with your brand or whatever's going on? What can we
Yeah,
expect?
just continuing to show up on social media, continuing to develop a huge network, joining
Hmm.
the chamber, and trying to find more small business owners that I can support and they can support me. So that's something that I'm definitely focusing on in 2026. Obviously, the podcast is going to be
Hmm.
fun. We're launching websites, trying to get more content out on social media. So just trying to take everything that I said yes to this year
Hmm.
and then digging deeper into those things in 2026. And I feel
That's
like
awesome.
this was the year of trying all the new things. Next year is going to be the
Hmm.
year of making everything stronger. I don't know. We'll think of a word. I don't know what word,
Yes,
but
we'll have to come
right.
up with something together. My
Yes.
last question for you: what is a love you
Okay.
latte?
Oh my gosh. All right. So a love you latte. I was introduced to this by our business coach, Christina Shaw,
Mhm.
and you just show up at a local coffee shop. You bring a partner with you. It could be a lender, a realtor, a local business owner. And for an
Mhm.
hour, anybody that comes in the door, you're buying the coffee for. And I have met so many people by just literally standing in a coffee shop for an hour and
Mhm.
buying people coffee. And people at first are a little standoffish because they're like, there has to be an ulterior motive. Like, why are you paying for our coffee? And I'm like,
Mhm.
no, just local business owners trying to meet new people. And the concept is fantastic. And
Mhm.
um, yeah, I love it. I love it. I need to keep doing them because I've met so many people, and figuring out ways to lift up their business and spotlight them has been huge. So,
That's awesome. Well, it
yeah.
was a lot of fun chatting with you,
Yes.
Taryn, and getting to know
Yes.
you better and sharing you with the world, our audience here.
Oh,
So just thank you for joining us today. And thanks to
welcome.
our listeners for tuning into Hustle Meets Harmony.
All right. Until next time.
Till next time. Thanks for tuning in to Hustle Meets Harmony.
We hope you found something real, relatable, and maybe even a little inspiring.
Don't forget to follow the show and connect with us on social for more conversations.
Until next time, keep chasing your dreams and finding your harmony.